A great source of happiness and stress relief can be one adoption away. Pets are so diverse in many ways and can be perfect for different types of people. Dogs can be great for more social people, while things like cats can be better for people that are more introverted. Finding the one for a specific person can be a huge blessing. I will persuade my audience to consider adopting a pet by arguing against some of the main reasons to not adopt one. I will examine the arguments that pets add more stress to everyday life, people have less freedom, and pets can cause major property damage. And I will argue against claims with poor evidence. Now that the arguments are stated, there is evidence that helps debunk the main arguments. Pets are a great way to reduce stress in everyday life. Um, the argument that I will be going against is that it adds stress to everyday life. I will use points from Science Direct along with personal knowledge. For personal knowledge, I myself own a few pets. I have a dog, we have an outside cat, and I just recently got a couple hermit crabs. So I own pets from kind of each different thing. So I own a low maintenance one. I own a dog, which is a more social animal, and I own the cats as well. According to Science Direct, in their article "Assessment of Pet Attachment and its Relationship with Stress, a Social Support Among Residents in Bangalore, City of South India, 2019," owning a pet helps increase the level of endorphins, which endorphins are like a natural hormone in the body that help decrease the feeling of discomfort among yourself, and it also increases dopamine, which is helpful to get your happiness back up. And also, pets can be a great distraction from the stress itself. Like if you had a hard day and you come home and you see your pet, you can go play fetch with it if it's a dog, or you can just simply pet it, and it helps kind of keep the mind off of things that were stressing you out throughout your day. And then when I want to look back at Science Direct, because owning a pet actually helps decrease the level of cortisol in the body, which cortisol is also known as the stress hormone. Um, and reducing that stress in the long term helps lower your blood pressure, so it helps keep the body healthy. And these are just a few ways that pets can help internally reduce stress. There is a direct response between stress and owning a pet, but most evidence points that they can be more helpful than they can be detrimental. There are ways to have pets and still have certain amounts of freedom to go out and do things with your friends and with your family. Um, most people, some people, argue that having a pet makes you have to stay at home because you need to keep an eye on them a lot more often. But owning a pet doesn't mean you have to have lack of freedom. Um, you can actually get a pet sitter now. According to Thumbtack 2020, the average cost of a pet sitter is about $20 to $30 a day, which for a night out with your friends and stuff doesn't seem that bad. Um, Another way to do it is you can get a low maintenance pet, like a goldfish or like hermit crabs, where they can just sit in the tank, and all you need to do is make sure that their tank is clean, that they have food and water, um, and that they have social interactions with other, you can get more goldfish or more crabs and stuff, so that they can be social and still have a good time in their tank. Um, According to RSPCA 2020, goldfish only need a few things to be happy. They need food, socializing, and a clean tank, like I just said. And pets don't always have to take away people's free time. There are many loopholes that you can get through in order to get out of the house with a pet. The last main argument against pets is that they cause a lot of property damage. And this is mostly because if they're not properly trained to be alone, they can get kind of anxious, or if they have too much energy, they can kind of rip things up because they want to play. In this, I will provide ways that help stop pets from wanting to destroy property. Um, Dogs are a main one. If they're left alone for too long, they could help kind of rip up your couch or your pillows or something. Um, a way to stop this is if you can give them a little less freedom. Maybe you can have, for like puppies, you have a little dog cage that they can sit in, or a kennel or something. Or you can put them in a room where there's not much for them to destroy, and they can kind of play with like the toys that you leave in the room instead. And according to Pupford 2019, dogs misbehave because they have high energy from not enough exercise. So if you take them out for like a quick 30-minute walk or so, it helps reduce their energy, and they don't want to destroy property as much because they just want to sleep. Cats are also a big one. They're known for kind of scratching up your couch or your curtains because they like to sharpen their claws, so they like to destroy things like that. A good way to stop this is to provide a scratching post for them, which scratching posts you can get a small one for like $20 ish, and or 13, and that helps kind of keep them from destroying couch because they have an actual post. But sometimes that doesn't work. So according to Chicago Tribune 2019, you can actually use air freshener because they leave like pheromone deposits in places that they kind of like to scratch up. So if you use like air fresheners or like Febreze or something, it can actually kind of destroy that pheromone deposit, and they are less likely to want to scratch up. You can also put tape on there. So when they try and scratch, they kind of get stuck to the tape, and they don't like that. So it kind of dissuades them from scratching that up more. And again, you can just get a low maintenance pet, like goldfish or something. They don't really do much. They can't really destroy property from in their tank. So there are precautions that can be taken in order to stop them from doing property damage. Um, so as you can see, pets are far more beneficial than some people choose to believe. Even the arguments against them are pretty faulty. Adopting a pet is great for people and great for the pet. Even though there are arguments like how they can be stressful, they can cause a lack of freedom, and they can cause property damage. All these arguments have facts that debunk them. There are shelters with unknown pets, and there are many reasons to consider adopting one. So people can easily save pets as well as pets can easily save people.